welcome. It's race number 2 of the RGTC GT3 World Tour. We are out here at Watkins Glen in the USA today. Do the USA tracks first through this championship, and have we got a lineup for you? What an amazing race last week at Laguna Seca with thrills and spills all over the place. The corkscrew absolutely annihilating some of the drivers, and we had some really strange turns of events with regards to vehicle placements at the end of the race. But let's get on to the race grid for today. We'll run through and here we go. It's about to get underway here at Watkins Glen. 20 cars on track, all with something to prove, especially that man up front, Maxime Martin, who had a dismal race out at Laguna Seca, has got the power down. Nick Cassidy trying to get the Jaguar out in front of him, not enough acceleration to get in front of Maxime Martin, who's got his foot mashed down on that accelerator. Nick is trying to catch up, but the Jaguar looking like it's just not on the pace of the AMG. It's pretty quick though. Look behind him, we've got another AMG, Maximilian Goots in the other Mercedes. So we've got an Aston Martin in between the two Mercedes cars at the moment. We've got a very determined looking Mathis Jalbert that in the Genesis, who's following Goots, and the Aston Martin of Gamble there right behind him. But Maxime Martin really trying to step it up here today after that dismal race he had at Laguna Seca. 2 spins off at the corkscrew, and that got him all the way down in 20th. So with him finishing in 20th position, he starts in position number 1 with the reverse order grid start that we have here, but he's doing really well at the moment, really putting down a quick lap by the look of it. And we got Nick Cassidy right behind him in the Jaguar, and he's going to fight for position as well. He's going to really want to get as many points, as do all of the drivers in this competition. Everybody wants to make sure that they are getting as many points as possible, but the only guy with a real advantage at this point in time is the driver of the Ford GT, who got the quickest lap of the race last week at Laguna Seca and got himself an extra point. So if he continues to do that, he's obviously going to be a real force to reckon with. Even if he doesn't win the races, he could potentially just keep on adding extra points through the course of the championship, and end up right up at the top of the score table without even getting wins. So hopefully that isn't the case. But at the moment, Maxime Martin has the quickest lap of the race, the leader of the race with the quickest lap at 151.413. That Ford GT though is obviously further back in the grid, nice and smooth through the bus stop. But as I was saying, the Ford GT a little bit further down in the pack, so he's got some traffic to fight through before he can start laying down quick laps. Maxime Martin at the moment, clear track ahead of him, so he's got all the time in the world to do what he wants to plan. There's nobody to kind of get in the way of that at the moment. So Nick Cassidy doing a good job of chasing and keeping up at the moment, and Maximilian Goose following suit in the AMG Mercedes. It looks like the Aston Martin of Tom Gamble getting close up to the back end of Goose at the moment. I wonder if he's going to have enough power in the Aston Martin to get ahead of that Mercedes, but I suppose time will tell. He's right up under the fin at the moment, and I'm sure he's going to be looking for a place on the track where he can squeeze that big wide Aston Martin by. That's not going to be an easy thing to do. These cars really wide. It is going to have to be Goots that makes a mistake in order for him to get that right. So he is looking down the inside here, looking like he's definitely showing Maximilian Goots that he is in the runnings, and he's planning to make moves on him. Goots doing the same to Cassidy in the Jaguar, all over the back of him at the moment. So we've got Jaguar in second, in between the 2 Mercedes cars, and an Aston Martin in position, the number 4 at the moment. Let's look down further down the grid. Mathis Jalbert in the Genesis has got a BMW hunting him down at the moment in the form of Luke Bennett, the other British driver out here. That's a lovely car, that, the BMW M6 Sprint. Really good car. And it looks like he's having a bit of a hard time keeping up with that Genesis at the moment. In 7th, we've got Sebastian Ash in the Beetle, with Miguel Molina behind him in the Ferrari. The Ferrari, obviously a formidable car, really good on all tracks. Was the quickest qualifier at Laguna Seca, and obviously wasn't able to get through the pack as best as he could last week, but definitely further up than starting in last position. So he's closer to the front than he was at the start of the race at Laguna Seca. So hopefully he's going to be able to pull out a couple of extra moves. Oh, looking down the inside of the Beetle at the moment. Sebastian having to defend, coming on the inside there. Molina right on his tail, looking for a gap to come past. Big gap between him and Tommy Mäkinen behind him in the Mitsubishi. You can see Ash looking in that mirror. He can see that Ferrari. Can't see the front of it. He's just going to be able to see the windscreen and the other driver behind him. That Ferrari really tucked in behind, looking for a slipstream. Does he have enough space for it? It looks like he actually might do it here down the straight. He's getting down the inside. He has got it ahead. Sebastian Ash moves into 8th position, and it is Miguel Molina moving into 7th with a Ferrari. Lots of space in between him and Luke Bennett at the moment in front, but let's see if he can close that down. Bennett really putting the power down to the M6, still battling to get onto the back of Mathis Yarbert in the Genesis at the moment, but let's move back in the grid again and see how everybody is faring towards the back end of it. I've moved all the way up into 9th position. I've overtaken Tommy Mäkinen in the Mitsubishi. The little Subaru BRZ is an absolutely lightning car. I'm trying to get used to it as well, and its traits and how it needs to be handled, and it is really, really good. So I'm really enjoying driving this car. Really fast little thing, and it really revs high too, so you can really just keep the power down and down and down and down until before you have to change gears. But Tommy Mäkinen really not having a good time out here at the moment, seeming like the car is a bit sluggish. I'm not sure if he's having issues with handling or if it's just a power problem, but Oberlin in the M3 is looking like he's about to pounce onto him as well. Oberlin looking really quick, closing that gap. There's definitely going to be a move made here by the look of it. Oliver Hart in 12th in the Chevy, with Tushio Matsuda behind him in the Nissan Nismo GTR. Then we have Luca Marconi doing a little bit better this time around. He finished last, or close to last time in the Honda. I think he did finish last, in fact. So he has moved up 6 places, which is a really good place for him to be. But it's David Schumacher looking for a gap with the Ford Mustang. Miguel Ramos in the Renault also keeping up with the two of them. And in 17th we've got Tommy Pintos, followed by Jack Horsworth. Jack driving the Lexus and Tommy driving the McLaren. Mark Wilkins looking like he's taking he's really taking a good hard look at getting past Horsworth. Looks like he might get it done. We do know that the Hyundai is very surprisingly good out there, coming in 2nd last week. He's still at the back though, but whoa, what is that about? Fabio Scherer, the quickest man on the track at Laguna Seca, is running in last position. Big damage on the front of that car. Looks like he's had a couple of coming togethers with either the barriers or other drivers. So it's Tom Gamble at the moment with the quickest lap of the race. Tom Gamble in 3rd position in the Aston Martin, so he's definitely on the pace. He's gotten past the the blue Mercedes. I actually don't know where is Goots. Goots is still in 4th position, but quite a distance further back than what we saw him earlier on. He'd actually been behind the Jaguar for quite some time, but it looks like Maxime Martin has got some competition with the British cars out here. Nick Cassidy holding pace with him in the Jaguar, but it's Tom Gamble on the charge, quickest race driver out there at the moment with a 148.572. So he's sending a message to the race leader. He's telling Maxime Martin, yeah, you've got all the clean air, but I've got the pace in the Aston Martin, so only a few laps left. You got to be careful because I'm coming for you. And Maxime Martin is going to be wanting to max out his points and keep up in 1st position, but whether he's going to be able to do that with that Aston Martin being so fast out there, I don't know if that's going to be the case. Cassidy's going to be coming under fire any second soon too. You can see the Aston Martin gaining on him. Certain sections of the track, the Jaguar obviously gaining on the Mercedes as well. So the power of this car though in the long straights is obviously evident. You can see him pulling away. But the Jaguar slightly better in the turns. Aston Martin seems to have the best of both worlds at the moment. He's gaining on every part of the track. Very slowly though on Nick Cassidy, so we'll ride with Cassidy for a moment because he's in between the two. Martin, Cassidy, Gamble. A close battle up here for 3rd position with these 3 guys. The pit stops are going to be starting soon as well, I'm sure. Oh, very, very wide looking Aston Martin there. Oh, he's run round wide because the other 2 are running into the pits. So Gamble stays out. Martin and Cassidy jump into the pits. So now it's Gamble who's got the biggest advantage out of everyone on the track. He's proven he's quick. A 148.572 proves that. And now he's in front with clean air. Nobody to contend with being in front of him. So if he can put down a great time here, he might actually be able to come out in front after his pit stop and come out in 1st position if he can lay down a quick enough time here and get ahead of the other guys. So if his pit stop is quicker, he might end up coming out in 1st position still. That is going to be a very, very good one to watch. Nice and close. But at the moment, it's Mathis Yarbert in 2nd position in the Genesis. We can't even see him on the track. That's how far Gamble is ahead of everybody at the moment. And it's Miguel Molina in 3rd. I think that's the Ferrari, if I'm not mistaken. Let's have a look. Yes, it is. It's Molina in the Ferrari in 3rd position. I don't know if he's got a pit yet. He may have been in. I'm not sure, but I suppose time will tell if that is the case or not. But 3rd position for Miguel after starting quite far back in the grid. But let's move back onto Tom Gamble, see how he's doing out front. He's going to be putting in quite soon, just a few more turns until he does that, but it'll be interesting to see what happens with his pit stop, because if he can get that car out quick enough, he might end up coming out in front of Mathis, in front of the Jaguar and the Mercedes, the Petronas Mercedes, who was in 1st. Here he comes into the pits. Where are the others? We're not going to watch his pit crew carry on, but right, the other 2, Yarbert going into the pits. Molina, yes, Molina does have to pit. So does Bennett in the M6. Everybody's teams ready and waiting. Oh, there's me in 7th. Going to make up a good few places here. I've obviously been into. I normally pit quite early in the BRZ. It does seem to run through fuel quite quickly, but I would have pitted already. There I am into 4th position. So we've got Gamble in front and then Cassidy in 2nd. Gamble comes out in position number 3 behind Cassidy. He hasn't been able to make up the time and get out in front. But he's got 2 laps left in order to get ahead of the Jaguar. and to get ahead of Maxime Martin. His lap time just not quick enough for him to get through, but there's a surprise. I'm coming in 4th position, chasing Tom Gamble with a little BRZ. I suppose I can't say little BRZ, they're all at the same kind of power level. They're all at the same performance points level, all within 1 point of each other. Oh, a big slide out by me there, as you can see, right into the barrier. So 4th position looks like where I'm going to end up keeping it, if in fact I don't get passed by a whole bunch of other drivers. So it's back to the front here. Nick Cassidy in 2nd, chasing the Jaguar. Maxime Martin in 1st, and the Aston Martin of Tom Gamble running in 3rd. It's lap 8 of 9 at the moment, so a lap and a half to go, or maybe not even. We're just over 1 lap. There you go, crossing the start finish line for the last time. This is where the sprint starts. Is Cassidy going to start putting the gas down and trying to see if he can get that 1st position? He's been coasting in 2nd for quite some time, with Maxime Martin unable to pull away from him. I'm hoping that means the Jaguar has got enough pace to actually catch up, but I don't know if that is the case. He's driving pretty well, but not seeming to make up any ground. Here we come through the most tricky section of the track, the bus stop. Well, I'm calling it the bus stop. I don't know if that's the bus stop on this track or not, but Cassidy chasing Maxime Martin out in the lead. I think it's a foregone conclusion at this point in time that Maxime Martin is going to win this race. Nick Cassidy is a sure 2nd. Tom Gamble did a really good job of fighting his way through and getting his way into 3rd position, but I think he could have taken a higher position. But wow, after that crash I've definitely put the power down, trying to get the car into a competitive position for the podium. I don't know if I'll be able to do that against Tom Gamble. That Aston Martin is a beast of note. Nick Cassidy still chasing as they round the final bend. There we go, Maxime Martin coming across the line in 1st position. Nick Cassidy in 2nd. I managed to get past the Aston Martin. Look at that. Look at that celebration. Twisting around, flashing the lights. A great race for me. A great race for Maxime Martin, who comes in 1st position. So this is the official finishing order for the race. Maxime Martin in the Mercedes AMG 1st. Nick Cassidy in 2nd with the Jaguar F-Type. Me with the BRZ GT300 in 3rd. Tom Gamble in the V8 in the V12 Vantage in 4th. Maximilian Goots in the AMG SLS in 5th. Natas Jalbert in the Genesis X in 6th position. The 458 Italia in 7th position, driven by Miguel Molina. Great race by him. Luke Bennett in 8th, driving the M6 GT3. In position 9, Sebastian Ash in the Beetle. The M3 GT, driven by Bull Oberlin, in position number 10. 11th is David Schumacher in the Mustang, followed by Oliver Hart in the Corvette C7 in 12th. 13th position held by Mark Wilkins in the Genesis Group 3. 2 cars off the pace of the Mustang, actually, so not bad there for him. 14th is Fabio Scherer in the Ford GT, so very, very surprised about that. Must have had an accident. The Lancer Evolution of Tommy Mäkinen coming in 15th. We've got Tsujio Matsuda in the GTR Nismo Nissan in 16th. In 17th position, Miguel Ramos in the Renault RS. The 650S McLaren, driven by Tommy Pintos, in 18th. Then we have in 19th Jack Hawksworth in the the Lexus. Very surprised about that. And Luca Margoni finishes in position number 20 in the Red Bull Honda. So a great race out there by everybody. The finish or the starting positions for next week are going to be completely jumbled around compared to what we had today. But it's going to be a good one to watch next week. So until we meet again, guys, drive safely, take care. We'll see you on the track.